Hello, welcome back. I am here again to present the end of the second part of the second chapter. Okay? So, for the ones who kind of not so in tune, the name of the second chapter is The Latent Darkness. Okay? In the first part, I was reading about how the red mercury was helping them to make more improvements in their experiments with the inmates. And well, today, in this second part, per se, I want to explain what is nova. Nova is a negative oscillating void accumulator. The nova is a dark energy extraction and containment machine designed to capture the evil inherent in human subjects, known as a psychic dark energy, and convert it into a potential source of renewable energy, inspired by the quantum engineering principles, high-density plasma, and pulsating magnetism. Nova combines advanced science with a macabre yet truly functional design, powered by the nuclear fusion reactor using 100 kilograms of unuseptium, better known as C-117, a very heavy and rare element, but under the right conditions, it can generate much more energy than several conventional nuclear reactors combined. And also, it oxidizes very quickly. The pulse of energy it emits can be used perfectly well to activate the entire nova sequence. The reactor is located at 10 kilometers away from the entire Enigma Corporation complex. Hidden among the rocky bodies and forests of the Blue Knopf in Pennsylvania, against all the US environmental regulations, but sponsored by several American companies and several countries around the world, this dangerous construction is still operating with virtually not one knowing of its existence. This plan is so powerful that an error in its management will provoke an explosion of epic proportions, with at least a radius of 50 kilometers, leaving millions dead and radioactive and lethal aftermath for the rest of the planet. Other than that, continuing with nova, when one sees it, one gets surprised by its large size. But the most interesting thing about its design is that there is not a component with a right angle of 90 degrees anywhere outside or inside of the machine, nothing. No tubes in the entire silhouette of the machine have right angles, with circular but solid shapes, and the cables and tubes look like hair. When you see it where this whole machine for the extraction of dark energy from the inmate scatters, it looks like the mouth of a large silver snake that, when activated, opens its mouth, exposing the restraint pod, which is inside of an extra transparent volcanic crystal cylinder, to which nothing sticks to it, thanks to its perfectly polished walls. It is a spectacular machine, 1 kilometer long by 200 meters high, created after 20 years of engineering and science work. More than 500 engineers and operators under Grün charge, along with other science, participated in its construction, clearly expressing a testimony of how far humanity can go in its research for energy, sacrificing ethics and morals in the name of science and power. So now here comes the description of the main parts of the nova. The first part is a psychic resonance chamber, known as PRC. It contains the subject during the extraction process. Its design is a sealed structure of super polished volcanic glass reinforced with electroconductive polymers, stronger than diamond. In addition, it guaranteed the amplification of the psychic waves generated by the prisoner. The mechanism: it used neurocapacitor needles made of an alloy of titanium and tungsten, coated with the red mercury. These needles penetrate directly into the subject's amygdala and hippocampus, critical neural points where trauma and latent evil are stored. The substance cerebium, administered in exact doses, causes a state of psychic hyperactivity, forcing the brain to recreate the subject's most atrocious pleasures and darkness experiences. The red mercury in the needles acts as a quantum amplifier, stabilizing the destabilized psychic frequencies and transforming them into a capturable electromagnetic waves. Then comes the plasma core, known as PC. It is the heart of nova, designed to contain and process dark energy into the form of ionized plasma. In its design is an spherical cylinder constructed of layers of superconducting materials and an inner coating of red mercury. It generates oscillating magnetic fields through Helmholtz coils, which create a controlled vacuum where the plasma can stabilize without dissipating. Dark energy extracted from the subject enters the core as a stream of negatively charged ionized particles. The red mercury in the core plays a critical role. It stabilizes the oscillation of the plasma, preventing energy from dissipating in the form of radiation. Without the red mercury, the nucleus cannot maintain the integrity of the plasma beyond a few seconds. Then comes the dark energy synthesizer, or known as DES, or DES. Its function transforms stabilized dark energy into usable energy. Its design is a conversion matrix composed of piezoelectric nanostructures that channel stabilized plasma into high-density electric currents. The energy flows are stored in a quantum solid-state batteries, ready to be distributed as sustainable energy. This splits ionized particles in plasma into neutral charge components. The neutrals are stored as a reserve, while the charged ones are driven towards an energy outlet that fits the facilities of the complex. So, how works the extraction and the conversion process? Well, the entire procedure is carried out in three main phases. The phase number 1 is known as a physic resonance phase. Here, the subject, induced by cerebium, enters a state of traumatic recreation. This generates a massive increase in the production of dark physic energy, which is channeled through a neurocapacitor needles. The red mercury in the needles stabilizes chaotic frequencies, reducing the risk of failure during the transfer. Then comes the phase 2, known as a plasma containment. In this phase, the captured dark energy is introduced into a plasma nucleus where, under oscillating magnetic fields, it is transformed into a plasma state. Then, the red mercury coats the inner core, acting as a quantum catalyst that balances the negative charges of the plasma and allows it to remain stable in the vacuum of the core. Then comes the phase 3, known as conversion. In this phase, the stabilized plasma is subjected to a process of energy synthesis that converts into a sustainable electrical current. Then, the leftover negatively charged particles are recycled in the core for future conversions. So now let's talk about its performance, or better say, about nova performance. When activated, the nova emits a series of ultra-low sounds combined with a ghostly hiss that appears to float in the air. During operation, the environment is charged with palpable electrical and magnetic energy. The most sensitive people describe the experience as a pleasant, disturbing, but so far harmless trance. Every detail, from human sacrifice to the futuristic projection of its use, reflects an Orwellian obsession with absolute control of the monopoly of energy. Neurocapacitor needle, designed with chirurgical precision, pierce the subject's brain, drawing out their dark energy, but leaving them in a state of constant agony, caught between physical pain and forced renouncement of their worst atrocities. The shadows that are cast within the core are not mere illusions. They look like fragments of the destroyed souls of their inmates, trapped in a limbo between states of consciousness. Some lab technicians say they hear whispers as they work near to the core, voices that murmur about the atrocities they once committed, like echoes of a past that refused to die. Back to the control room, the red mercury turned out to be the key element for NOVA to work better. Without it, the machine operated in previous experiments, but the results were inconsistent, making it virtually useless. This material stabilized the oscillations of the plasma, preventing the extracted energy from disappearing in the form of radiation. However, handling red mercury is extremely dangerous. Even a slight leak can cause neurological alterations in personnel, leading to hallucinations and loss of judgment. These consequences were well known to the more than 800 people involved in the project, including Grün's team. However, the excellent pay offered by Enigma Corporation helped the workers ignore the atrocities they witnessed or carry out. Many justify their actions by saying, in the end, they are only convicts, psychopaths, murderers, scum of society, people that nobody wants and that are good for nothing more useful than this. Some even found an unsettling satisfaction in seeing them agonize inside the NOVA, as if the subject's suffering validated the project's ethics. Meanwhile, Grün was again contacting the depot to coordinate the preparation of the next test subject named Andy. So, this is the end of the second part of the second chapter, and I hope that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna come with the third chapter, I hope soon. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer because then I come with new ideas, but with luck, maybe I'm gonna have it in the next week. And if it's long again, maybe it's more convenient to present it in two parts. So well, with anything else to say, I hope I can see you soon, and to the next time. Ciao, and good night.